Àwárún, ò ń fi iná ṣeré.
Lẹ́sẹ̀ kàkà. Ẹ̀mí àwọn ẹni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Bí n bá rí arákùnrin
Ń yo.
àti wọ àtẹ̀bí rẹ̀ ẹ sọ sí i.
Lọ́dọ̀pá. Ilé ẹ̀sọ́ sí kàkà.
Ó dùn mí wípé fíngbàfíngbà mi tí ń fíngbà kò ní fi mí mọ́.
Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'll be doing a movie review on the movie Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectre. So this movie is currently streaming on Netflix. Came out on the 1st of March. So this movie was produced and directed by Kunle Afolayan. So this is a sequel to the 2022 Anikulapo movie. So basically, it just kicks off from where the movie ended. So I'll just give like a quick recap of what happened in Anikulapo, the movie itself. So it was about the story of Saro and Arolake, his wife. Saro was blinded by greed, blinded by pride. After all, Arolake had given him the power to resurrect people from the dead. He just forsakes her and her contribution to his life. So basically breaks her heart and marries other women and everything that played out from that end. Then eventually Saro's power failed when he had to raise a king's son, and because of he didn't do that, consequence of his failure was he was killed. So now in this mini series, this 6-episode series, it just continues right from there. Exactly, with Saro lying on the floor, he's dead, and he gets up, his spirit gets up, and he has to walk, like I think the path where dead people have to walk towards the gate of heaven and all of that, to see like what happens to them after death. So he just like joins in this queue of people walking and walking and walking. Then he gets to the gate, and the gatekeeper tells him that he's a debtor, that he can't let him through, that you're Saro, you're owing me and everything like that. So basically what he was trying to say is that because of all the people Saro had brought back to life, all the people that were meant to die, that he brought them back, that were 20 people. So he has to go back to kill those people, come back with those people before he will be allowed to pass through the gate. That was like the journey of Saro coming back as a spirit to basically be a grim reaper, be like a messenger of death. Unlike the previous movie where he was bringing people back from the dead, now he is to kill people and take them with him. So that's like the gist of how this series started. So I don't want to give too much away because I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it yet. So that aside, you also get to see what happens with Arolake, like how things go for her, from her like running away and stuff like that. Basically from this series, it continues with the life of Saro and Arolake, now introducing like new characters, new faces, adding twists and turns to the whole story. We get to meet new people, we get to see like different plot twists here and there, and how everything sort of ties together with the whole story. So that's about what you should expect. Let's talk about the cast and performances in this movie. So for one, we have Saro, obviously. So Saro was played by Kunle Remi. So Saro was his typical self, like how he was in the movie is how he is in this mini series. So the way it starts up, you get annoyed with Saro, thinking, okay, with all that transpired previously, he should have learned from his mistakes, he should do better, he should know better. Because it starts off with him trying to find his way around the whole reason for him coming back, trying to act smart. He was trying to look for like a shortcut. So this guy didn't learn his lesson. So Saro is still very selfish and he's just headstrong in doing what he does. He's very, very easily distracted, and Saro will shall get on your nails. He's just that kind of person. Towards the end of the series, you get to see like a different side to him, to see like, okay, he actually did learn a thing or two. He's trying to redeem himself, redeem his mistake. Kunle Remi acted well, of course, like as expected, but there wasn't really much he could have given us that we haven't already seen in the former movie. So that aside, next person I'm talking about would be Arolake, was played by Bimbo Ademoye. So now in this series, we get to see like her sort of trying to start afresh, trying to start life all over again. She's still hurt and scarred from what Saro had done to her, so she's being very, very careful and guarded as to who she lets into her space, and she's trying so hard not to love the person that is her love interest in this movie. Like she said in the movie, like she doesn't have room to love somebody. Also, you get to see like, okay, like, you know, with the whole thing with the bag of wealth, the purse of wealth, that's why she had a lot of money. She was still like somebody that was helping people in the community. She didn't like hoard all the wealth she had, because she couldn't use everything. She couldn't use all the money, she couldn't use all the treasure, she couldn't use all the jewelry. So yeah, so in this mini series we get to see Arolake like come into her own. We get to see her like let go of the hurts that she has been dealing with. I also get to see like her scheming tactics, you know, trying to worm her way back, you know, into the hands of the king, you know, who she ran away from. So you see how like everything would play out with Arolake. But yeah, it was really nice to see Bimbo, you know, because she knows how to deliver any role given to her. She's an amazing actress. So yeah, so on her end, she did not disappoint at all. Then also another person I'll be talking about would be Akin. So Akin was played by Gabriel Afolayan. So Akin was this guy that like a normal regular local guy, like there wasn't much to him, you know. He was just a sweet guy that really cared for Arolake, and he was showing it. Like he was very expressive, like he made his intentions known, he made his feelings clear to her. But you know, her being traumatized by what had already happened with Saro, she was pushing him away. Despite all that happened, like throughout the whole movie, you know, there was a part where, you know, he got hurt and he left her, but you could see like despite everything that happened, he still cared for her and was still trying to protect and, you know, fight for the woman he loves, which was really cute to see. And it was also nice to see Gabriel Afolayan play in this series as well, because he wasn't in the former movie. So yeah, he acted very well from his end. He was a lover boy, and despite the demands and, you know, errands Arolake was just sending him on, he was just going, and, you know, was just going because he cared for her, because he loved her. And, you know, he was telling into her straight, like told her things she needed to hear, like things she didn't want to hear. Then somebody else who will get to see is Olotarera. Yes, so she is now the wife of Saro in this series. Saro, being the ladies man that he is, now ends up getting, I don't even know if they got married, but, you know, she is his woman in this movie. She was played by Oyindamola Sani, so she is a very brilliant actor. Like I really enjoyed, you know, seeing her. I think it's my first time seeing her on screen, but yeah, she acted very well. It was so nice considering the fact that she knew everything that, you know, was happening with Saro. Like she still stuck with him like through and through. She was a very devoted, very loving, very caring wife. How they met, you know, with, you know, Saro coming in and, you know, taking over the palm wine business in the town, you know, which was her dad's thing. So we how Saro was able to separate her from her dad, you know, making her live with him, leave her dad, and, you know, their whole love bubble that they were in. And despite the fact that, you know, Saro was dealing with all that he was dealing with, she still wanted to protect him. She still wanted to help him, you know, to get rid of, you know, the evil spirit, like she said, that's been disturbing him. She really complimented, you know, Saro's scenes here and there. Next person I'm talking about would be Afolayan, who was played by Lateef Adedimeji. So he was the son of one of the chiefs in the village. He was also like the friend, or he was betrothed to be married to, you know, the king's daughter. And he was just a very calm, very level-headed, very sweet, normal boy. So unlike his father, he was reserved, he was shy, he was timid, sort of. It was nice to see Lateef play in this movie, but his character wasn't that significant to me. But his character, he played the role he was given him. So his own thing was, he had this friendship bond thing with the princess, who just at first just saw him as a friend, saw him as somebody they grew up together with. So she didn't really see him in the romantic light, but he was head over heels for her. And on the other end, you know, the relationship he has with his dad is very rocky. There's no love there, there's no friendship there, they're just always locking heads. So yeah, so it was also nice to see Lateef, you know, play in this movie. And another scene that really took me back was the fight scene with Kurunga. It made me remember the Jago Jago movie, where, you know, he was the warrior and everything. But yeah, all in all, he delivered. Next person I'm talking about will be the Princess Omaomi, who was played by Yemi Afolayan, which is the daughter of director or producer of this movie. So she's a very brilliant actor. She's very, very sweet, very warm, and she acted, like proper princess role very, very well. She did the whole mommy's girl thing. She also did like very emotional scenes, like the whole losing her husband thing, like the whole shouting, screaming. Like she really, really expressed those emotions very well, and it was really, really nice. The next person I'll be talking about will be Kurunga, who was played by Uzi Usman. So it was nice seeing him play in this Yoruba speaking movie, and where he had to speak Yoruba, of course. So it was just really, really cool to see that, and seeing him blend nicely with fellow actors in this movie. He didn't look like out of place because of how in tune with the movie he was. And he did his thing, he acted his role. Somebody else should get to say in the movie was actor the groom was played by Titi Kuti. So he was more like a bounty hunter in this movie. So he was one that was sent by the king, and he was also sent by Bashirum to go find Saro and find Oralake and just bring them to the palace. He acted his role nicely. He was a very good bounty hunter because he was able to find these people that have been missing for over 3 years. Another exceptional character in this movie was Basharon, who was played by Owobo Ogunde. So he was more or less the main character in this series. He was front and center. Like the movie opens up with Saro, Aralake, us getting familiar with them and everything. But once Basharon comes into the picture, he sort of becomes the main person. He gives this main chick energy. So Saro and Aralake sort of fade into the background, and Bashirin takes over. Bashirin was like a chief, like one of the chiefs in Oyo there. Like he was a very powerful man. He was feared by, if not everybody, and his character stood out compared to everybody else in this series. And he was somebody that was so obsessed with getting Saro back, like because of that thing that Saro has the power to bring people back to life. So he was just like obsessed with it. He was like, imagine what I can do with that kind of power, basically. So he was so crazy about finding Saro, finding Aralake and stuff, all of that. And it was also crazy because he was able to like show us different emotions. He was able to show us like different sides to him. For one, he was the lover boy of our room. So in scenes where you get to see the both of them, you see him all lovey-dovey with heart eyes and sweet words. And then on the other end, you get to see him when he's with his son. He's more like a very strict, very harsh, very stern dad. And it's like this guy can switch up. Like he can act any role, he can give you any emotion. And there's this thing about when he speaks, I think he speaks with his eyes. Like he looks very serious. Like he just looks like somebody that's you should be fearing. Like he looks like somebody that should be feared. At some point it was like even the king couldn't even stand him. And on the other end, he was somebody that his son was to get married to the princess, and with what happening with the king breaking that promise and the consequences of everything that happening. And like Bashirin was really, really front and center of this series. He was the main guy, he was the main person. Like everything all revolved around him. He was one moving pieces and doing this and doing that. He was like the villain of this series. Like with how everything happened, like you'll be curious to see like what would this guy have even done if he was the one that had that power, that sort of power that Saro did. Like it would have been crazy. Like things would have gone haywire. I really enjoyed Bashirin's character. He interpreted his role, he scattered, he butchered his role, and he left no crumbs. So like he did his thing. Somebody else I'm talking about will be our own, was played by Sobowale. So she was how she was in the movies, how she is, like it's just continuation, like everything just continues from there. And with the plot twist with Saro getting married to her daughter was just something that you wouldn't see coming. And we have like, despite the fact her and Bashirin had this thing budding, this their loving romance thing, but when it came down to Bashirin or her daughter, like obviously she had to side with her daughter, and she was ready to move mountains and do this and do that for her daughter. So it was very, very nice to see like she came through for her daughter. She was like, if you want to come for my daughter, you have to come through me, sort of thing. Like I think she's the one person in this movie that stood up to Bashirin. Yeah, so she was really a phenomenal like actress. Of course, like it's Sola Sobowale, so but you can't expect anything less from her. Then we have the queens, like I can't remember their names, but I'll put their pictures up there. Like those two women were something else, like they're characters, and you like with their gossip session and their eavesdropping session and their this and like it was just nice. There was a balance of comic, suspense, action. You know, there was a blend of everything nicely. So the movie didn't just leave you hanging. I think the last people I'm talking about will be the three ghosts. So remember when Saro had to come back, kill people so he can go pass through Heaven's Gate and whatnot. So when he came back as a spirit, he started killing. Out of 20 people, he killed 3 people. So one of the people he killed was a drummer who was played by C. Kadri, who is late, God rest his soul. So the other person who he killed was the woman, Yola Foshere, and the last person was the groom to be, or the bridegroom, or the guy that was getting married, who was played by Lai Wasabi. So he killed these 3 people, following the instruction from the keeper of the gate. And on getting to the 4th person he was to kill, it was very funny like what happened, because when they did the whole flashback thing to when he brought this old woman back to life, and the woman was so upset, like she was like, why did you bring me back? So now that he came to kill her, she doesn't want to go back. She was like, no way, you're not killing me. She was the only one that could see him then. I don't know how, but she could see him, she could tell that he was there and everything. So she gave him like a way out, gave him a loophole to his predicament, and was like, if you don't kill me, I can tell you how you can become a human being and all of that. So that was how that happened. Now that aside, because Saro didn't fulfill his own end of the bargain, these 3 people that he had killed were more or less just hanging with him. They were just like, they were tied to him, of course. So anywhere he went, anything he did, they were there with him. So at a point, it was like these people were sort of guiding him, like, okay, they had an agreement, you want to live as a human being, fine, we'll give you 3 years, do your thing. Then once you are done with that, just take us through, let us go, like let us leave, sort of thing. But trust Saro, being Saro, he had to double cross them one way or the other. And they showed him shaggy. Honestly, I believe like everybody from the actors, everybody acted amazingly well. Like everybody put their best foot forward. Like the acting performance from them was A1, like it was top notch, and like it was really enjoyable to see. And other faces you will get to see in this movie, you get to see Jide Kosoko, you get to see Monkey Malam, and like a whole lot of very familiar faces. And everybody honestly did their thing in this movie. So now that aside, for costume, setting, the makeup, the houses, like the movie just depicted like a typical Yoruba culture. Like it just makes you like fall in love with the whole Yoruba culture, the heritage, like the languages, the market scenes, the mud houses. Like it was just so cool watching it. Like I just enjoyed watching and seeing the Yoruba culture in its full glory, and trust Kunle and Afolayan to showcase that to us. So yeah, so the movie is a Yoruba speaking movie, of course, with English subtitles, and the movie is packed. Like at a point you'll be lost, like you won't really understand what's going on, and it seems like they'll be showing you things that you think are unnecessary, but later on you'll see how everything sort of ties into each other, and how everything makes sense. Like you get to see the big picture. Certain things you would pick up in this movie, in this series rather, is to not be greedy. Like honestly, like I think that's the #1 thing. The whole thing with greed and the whole quest for power and more power, you could see that in the case of Saro, you could see that in the case of Bashiru, like what happened there, like how everything played out, and what happened to them. Like we should be content. Like we should not let greed take over us now. We should be coming down with like you could see, like getting second chances are not something that is common. Like Saro was given a second chance, and he was supposed to do what he was supposed to do, like do better, know better, act right and stuff. So you just say that whenever you get the chance to do, like when you have a do-over, like make it right, sort of thing. So don't take things for granted. Don't waste your opportunities. You should not lose focus. We should, like, once you're set in, once you have a goal in mind, once you have something to do, just do it. Don't be distracted. Don't lose focus. Don't lose that, like Saro did, and look how he ended up. This series nicely shot, like the scenes, the cinematography, the soundtrack, like everything A1, everything was top notch. But for me, I would still prefer, you know, the Anikulapo movie that came out in 2022 over this one, just because, like, I feel like that one just got, like, it just got my attention. So like with this new series, we're like okay, what are we going to expect? Are we going to expect more bringing people back from the dead? I think with this series, they just wanted to introduce to us other characters. Like, they didn't want the story to just revolve around Saro and Arolake, and it made sense, and the way it was done was also very, very brilliant. And their end, with how everything sort of was entwined with the whole, you know, Basharum, Latera, the kingdom, Kurunga, the princess, like there was a lot going on at the same time. It was still under one umbrella, sort of, you get. So it was nice to see that. Is a Kunle Afolayan movie, so it's amazing. But if you haven't seen the movie, you should check it out. You will definitely enjoy watching it. For me, I enjoyed watching it, but I would give it a 7. I'll give it a 7/10. And let's talk about it in the comment section. Who is your favorite character in this movie? Like, I'm sure you can tell it's Basharu for me. Basharu did his thing, like he killed his role. And like, thumbs up to cast, crew, actors, like everything that went into production of this movie. Apparently the sets were built from scratch, which is mind-blowing. But that aside, I think something I didn't really like was the way the movie ended. You really, like, with certain questions unanswered. Okay, for one, like with the case of Saro, like, what happened to him? Is he dead? Or like, you get, like, what happened to him? But I think they made it that way so there will be room for, you know, a season 2, I guess. And also with Basharan, I don't like what happened, like how he just all powerful warlord fighter and everything. So I feel like there is still more to his story. And also with Aki and Aralaki and everybody else, things were just and it was just really, really crazy to see the whole 3 women, you know, Sarah's 3 ladies, Awaru, Aralake and Olatera, just sitting down like 3 widows, just mourning the loss of their husband or something like that. It was just crazy. Something else that really, really upsets me in this movie was, okay, Saro and Arolake, knowing all that had happened, you get, like, you people are wanted, like, you people have done what you have done, and you're trying to start afresh, and you're trying to run away and, you know, build life afresh, and you get into where, like, these new towns and these new villages, but you still use the same name. Like, can't you just come up with another name or just do something different? Because I'm like, is it like they are the only Saro and Arolake in the whole of all these different towns? It was really, really annoying. Because remember when, you know, the daughter mentioned to the mom, oh, her husband's name is Saro and everything. I'm like, so it's just one Saro that is all over all these villages. It was very annoying because I'm like, you people are trying to go under the radar. You people are trying to, you know, blend in and not attract attention to yourself, but you're doing what you're doing and you're still using the same name that you're known for. Like, what do you expect? So yeah, that was really, really annoying, honestly. I'm like, the least you can do is change your name since you're on the run. But yeah, I think that was just for the sake of the movie. The thing I really enjoyed was, you know, the scene with Saro and, you know, Arolake just talking and just having closure and just getting things off their chest, and just, you know, it was like they had been through so much together, and it was like a breath of fresh air to see them resolve, or like everything that had happened, and, you know, the whole apology thing, and just like that scene was really, really beautiful. It was really, really touching to see. Like, it was like throughout the movie I was waiting for when somebody will be brought back to life, because that was, you know, the essence of Anikulapo. Like, it was somebody that was, you know, had the power over death, sort of thing. And when they did that, it wasn't as, you know, it was in the movie. It was nice to see that happen. Just 6 episodes, quite enjoyable. Trust me, you would enjoy everything about it. And I really enjoyed the theme song, like, and the way they did the is it the intro? Like, I really enjoyed the intro, the background, the music, like it was really different and it was really cool. I think we'll wait for season 2 if there will be a season 2. But yeah, let's talk about it in the comment section. Do you think this sequel was necessary? Do you think it should have been done? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Or they should just have left it at, you know, the first movie that they did? But yeah, but that's that about it. You know, Anikulapo Rise of the Spectre was a good watch. You should see it. And if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, like, share, and check out my other movie reviews on this channel. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.